I meant to be the other. There we go. Okay, now we're good.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted. 7 o'clock on a Thursday or Tuesday, whatever the hell day it is. It's something like that. But, man, Logan, what a time to be alive, man. We just came off that Cowboys victory last night over Brady. I don't know. How you doing, my brother? It's my brother Logan Landis.
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Like you said, we got a lot of playoff football to recap. And it's going to be a good Tuesday night show. Let's get into it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. First off, up for bid, man. Let me hit my thing. Boom. All right, hey, let's crack this bad boy up, man. Jake Paul. Jake Paul is going to fight Tommy Fury February 25th, Saudi Arabia. What a time to be alive. The man's 6-0, coming off a win over Adrian Silva. Let's be honest. He's playing these guys way past their prime. Now he's going to go against Tyson Fury. I don't know, man. Logan, I mean, hey, it's the third time they tried to make this fight happen. They finally got it on the books. It's going to happen now. Jake Paul, Fury. I don't know, man. What do you think about these crazy fights?
I mean, like you said, I think the hype is, I don't know, it feels like it's kind of died down for this. Just because it's been pushed back a few times already. And, I mean, it's kind of a short notice, right? I mean, we have a little bit over a month before this fight's going to take place. And, like you said, Saudi Arabia, they're going to be getting a lot of money for this fight.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like you said, Jake Paul is undefeated. I mean, like you said, he beat Silva in his last fight, but I mean, we know Silva is just, he's not the fighter he once used to be on top of the MMA world and everything. Plus, like you said, he was an MMA fighter. He's a kickboxer, Muay Thai. He's not a boxer, right? But now he's going up against Tommy Fury. But, I mean, I think, it's still not going to be the high-class level boxing you get with, world champions and what like that. But I mean, like we said before with these kind of fights, Jay, if you're interested in these people and these celebrities, I mean, obviously you're going to want to watch this fight. And, I mean, if Jake Paul can, if the Paul, really just both of them, they continue their winning ways in the boxing ring, Jay, I mean, I know they've been fighting a lot of undercard guys or guys who were over the hill, we'll say. But, I mean, if they can keep winning matches, winning fights, and, I mean, hey, they're doing what they're doing. They're signing these fights and they're winning them. You can't be mad at them for that.
Yeah, it's not that I'm mad at him. I just feel like when I think of boxing, I think of the way Jake Paul is doing it. In my opinion, it takes away a little bit of the credibility of boxing. Coming up through the ranks, doing it the old school way. Now you got these YouTubers. They're out there putting all their stuff on the internet. We're getting these crazy fights, these crazy bouts out of nowhere. I don't know. I guess I'm a little old school, Logan. It's hard for me to get used to this new way of doing business.
And I get what you're saying, and I'm sure there's thousands upon thousands of guys who feel that same way, Jay, who have been grinding for years, just, going to the gym, going and getting these small undercard fights with 150 people in the stadium, you know what I mean? And then now you get, in recent years, we get a lot of influencers, of personalities, former sport athletes who were in completely different realms, right? Basketball players, football players, etc. I mean, you have them fighting now on big money cards,
Right.
and I'm sure there's a lot of fighters who have been in the game for a while or who are just starting out. They're a little peeved. I mean, they're upset that their spots being taken by someone who might not have the better ability in the ring, but just has a sharper image when it comes to promoting themselves on whatever social media platform for whatever reason that is.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Then we kind of move on a little bit into a little bit of WNBA, right? Instantly enough, 2021 WNBA Jonquel Jones, MVP from 2021, is being traded from the Sun to the Liberty. I thought that was kind of crazy. Like, why would they up and trade their 2021 MVP in the season?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's strange, Jay. I mean, you don't see this a whole lot with. I mean, this is recent. This is the 20, not the last one, but still 2021 year MVP, and I mean you're trading her away. Um, I mean, obviously, I don't keep up with the team, but if I had to assume, this means that the Sun are definitely going into a rebuild type of mode. Maybe get rid of some salary or something. And as for the Liberty, that means that they're going for it, right? They're trying to get a championship
right.
to raise it above their heads, if I had to guess. And it's weird to see because I just see the headline the other day whenever it happened, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, a former MVP, very recently also um, on the move. I mean, and we see the WNBA. And we see a lot of number one overall draft picks being traded, high level draft picks who were very recently drafted also um,
Right.
get swapped early, as opposed to the NBA where they give them a couple of years, like 2 or 3, maybe more, and then they ship them off somewhere else. But it feels like in the WNBA trades are a little bit more free flowing, and also if you win an award, an MVP, defensive player, offensive player, whatever, scoring titles that you're going to be shipped off to. Depends on the team and what direction they plan to go in.
Yeah, again, you don't see a lot of 6'6" forward centers. I mean, she does quite a bit out there, and the fact that she was averaging 14 points, I think 8 rebounds from the Connecticut Sun, and
Yeah,
I just thought it was interesting that they were willing to trade her after she's coming off what looks to me like a pretty good year.
yeah, and we'll see how it plays out. Let me see here.
Hey,
So
but
I
it
got
should
a
be
full.
noted that they did bring in a new head coach. The Sun did.
Yeah.
They brought in Stephanie White, and I don't know if that had anything to do with her leaving or not.
Okay, Jay. So I have it. I pulled up the article here. Okay. So actually, she was traded to the Sparks. Uh, this is Jasmine Thomas, correct?
Right.
This is
Jacqueline
John
Jones.
Claude Jones. Okay. My bad. Yeah. Hold on. Give me just 1 second here. I got the wrong article pulled up. I guess another MVP got traded.
Uh,
I don't know, we got the name wrong. I don't know, but either way, we'll see how it goes. And oh yeah, okay, here it is. Yeah, goes to Liberty. Um, Finalized. Come on, give me the players. Who's going there, Jay? I'm trying to figure this out.
I did not see
Uh,
any players in that particular article. It had just said that she was
it's
being
just saying that
traded.
she's getting traded pretty much.
Yeah, they said the specifics
Um,
of the trade would come down, in time, but they had not released
yeah.
any specifics on it at all.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out whenever it happens.
But yeah,
Also
that's what
too,
I'm saying. I think it's
yeah.
still a lot in the works.
Yeah, and also too, just another WNBA tidbit, little fact, Jay. I saw the other day that Maya Moore officially retired. She hasn't
Oh
played in a
wow.
couple of years. I know she went to start a family, I believe, a couple of years ago, but she officially retired the other day. And great career, man, great career. Played with Minnesota for I think 7 or 8 years. 4 number one overall draft pick, 4-time champ, won an MVP, and definitely going to be going into the Hall of Fame. I think definitely one of the more recognizable and notable WNBA players of all time.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. It's just I just thought it was an interesting time for them to decide to trade her after they just brought in a new head coach. That's interesting.
Yep.
Then we kind of move into I just saw where Frankie posted, I'm sure to be on Twitter here in a sec, where Frank Reich is interviewing for the head coaching job in Arizona. Good Lord. How bad could Frank Reich screw up the Cardinals?
I'm just saying, Jay, that Cliff Kingsbury said, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a year off. I'm going to, well, I forget what island it is, but he said, I'm booking me a one-way flight for right now, and I ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Cliff Kingsbury took his beautiful wife and kids. They went and found them a nice little tropical area. They're going to chill there. They're probably going to make third and fourth kids, and then he'll come back to the league. Not a big deal for Cliff. Not a big deal at all. Just another day in the neighborhood, folks.
And also, too, Jay, just before we move on, I did see so the Sun also traded Jasmine Thomas. So they traded Jones and Thomas very, very shortly.
Right.
Jasmine Thomas got traded to the Los Angeles Sparks they also traded their first-round draft pick for a couple of young players. So
they're
definitely that's crazy. You give up, a solid player from what I see here with Thomas, as well as your first-round draft pick. For a few young players. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for Connecticut. But let's keep moving on, bro. What we got up next?
Yeah, like I was saying, though, what do you think Frank Reich is going to do? How well do you think he's going to do if he gets offered that job out there in Arizona? I think they'd be better off just looking somewhere else.
Arizona's got some issues, Jay. I honestly, I think for the past season or two, I thought they'd be better than what they were, especially this year. They got 5 wins on the year, if even. I thought I didn't know if they'd be Super Bowl contenders, but I thought they'd at least compete for their division. Especially with you got Kyler Murray, who they signed to a giant contract, who has potential. You have a stout defense. You got DeAndre Hopkins, who I understand was suspended for a handful of games, but they got some good pieces, and they had all this hope in Kingsbury, how he was a good offensive mind and whatnot, but. Ultimately, Jay, I think that defense hurt them too. It's on all sides of the ball whenever your team collapses that bad. You can't really just put it on one specific area. That's a team effort to lose the way they did and kind of, just have to, I guess, rebuild with what they're going to have. And if Frank Reich can go there, I know, Chris can speak to that more than we could. But I don't know, man. I think they need to just figure something out, maybe acquire a few more pieces. Hopefully, they can speed that up in the draft. I forget what their draft number is, but hopefully they got to hit on this one, Jay. I think they do. Yeah, and if you don't hit on this draft pick, man, I think you got to start blowing up the team.
Man, speaking of blowing up teams and coming together, you got the John Wall situation out there with the Clippers. That team has been blown up, come back together, blown up again, come back together. Injuries have been all over the place, and now John Wall is just another injury to be added amongst the others. I don't think it's too serious an injury. It doesn't look like a serious injury. It looks like a mid-level sprain, so he should be back within a few weeks. But again, actually, it's an ab. It's an ab strain. So he got a couple of weeks to be back. But again, though, this Clippers team just seems to be, for some reason. And I don't know what it is about players that go there, but every time players go there, they wind up getting hurt. Kawhi Leonard got hurt. Now you got John Wall getting hurt. It seems like everybody always gets hurt when they go to the Clippers organization.
It's just a string of bad luck, man. And we've talked about on and on about Kawhi, Paul George, both of them being hurt, whatever. But now you get John Wall, who, hasn't played a whole lot in recent years with injuries, with the whole scenario he had with the Rockets and all that. And now, unfortunately, he's going to be out for a few weeks. And I just want to see him back on the court, Jay, because he's a dynamic player when he's healthy. He is a phenomenal player, a good veteran. But unfortunately, like you said, man, something about being with the Clippers just means you're going to be on the injured list for at least a couple of weeks a season. I don't know what it is.
And that's really it, though. That really is it. It's like how long before we start saying that this Clippers team is just done and we blow it up again. You know what I mean?
And this is a team who I can kind of equate a little bit to in the East with Brooklyn, right? Whenever the Clippers got Paul George and Kawhi, they were expected to be fighting for championships already, and same with the Brooklyn Nets. But for different reasons, obviously for LA, they just have not been able to stay healthy with some of the best players on the planet on their team, and
Absolutely.
it's just a lot of question marks about halfway through the season.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of question marks. There's question marks about John Wall and what can he continue to do in the future, and there's question marks about pretty much everybody on the Clippers. Paul George. I mean, we don't even hear about Paul George. We don't hear about Kawhi Leonard. I mean, it's just ghost town over there. So,
No,
hey, at the end of the day, man, this Clippers team has just never really been able to put it together, like really fully put it together. I mean, they
no.
come close a few times, but you know what they say, man. Hey, closest never gets you anywhere. Just gets you closer away from your dreams.
That's
Anyway.
it.
Hey, Aaron Donald. Let's talk Aaron Donald for a second, man.
All right.
It's time for him to call it quits. I mean, we knew last year it was very close for him to call it quits. I think Von Miller was going to hang it. There was quite a few guys that were talking,
Right.
retiring, walking away, doing our new thing. And then, of course, none of them did. They all came back. They had a terrible, horrible season. Now you got, people going left, people going right. So what do we make of Aaron Donald? Does he come back into the year? Or does he say,
I got
my one ring, I'm good. I got my money, I'm good. And just call it a day.
I don't know, Jay, because this is now, back-to-back years of speculation with kind of strong rumors, right, that he could be retiring.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say I feel a little bit more inclined to say he is going to, as opposed to last year maybe. But, I mean, like you said, the team didn't do nothing this year. They're not looking like a strong piece for the time being. And, like you said, he's still a young player, right? He got his money, got his championship. I mean, if he feels the need to retire and head off with his loved ones, his family, whatever it may be, go right on ahead. I mean, he's done a lot of great things in football. Hate to see him go because he is a special talent. But, I mean, if he's at peace with his decision, why are we to knock him? But I feel a little bit more stronger this year, this time, than I did a little bit last year, that he could be hanging up the cleats.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm right there with you. Like I was saying, I mean, he's been talking about hanging it up. If he did come back and play, maybe 1-2 year contract, I'd probably do that if I felt like lingering around. But I'm not just going to go to any team. It better be the right team, and it better have championship aspirations. I think I'm looking. Hey, Eagles, 2 years, man, 2 years. You put me in that.
Get me on a powerhouse, and then I'll play for a little bit more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Hey, you got a 2 year contract. Hey, I'm sure you can find somebody that can get you one more ring.
Right. Go to Buffalo, go to Philadelphia, go somewhere that's going to be a contender again, and then see what you can do.
He could even go over there to Cleveland. Could you imagine him with Myles Garrett and Clowney?
Yeah, I don't think Clowney's going to be there anymore, but. Oh, they Clowney's going to be there.
Right. I think Clowney pretty much.
But Myles Garrett, yeah, you're right. Myles Garrett, you're right. But Clowney's probably going to be on another team this year.
You know what? Don't be surprised if Clowney comes back, though. Don't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. NFL, man. Let's get a little bit of NFL talk.
What a wild 4 days we had, right? Started on Saturday, I believe. Went all the way to last night. So we had 3 days of football, and it was phenomenal. All of the games, honestly.
There were some close games. There were some not so close games. There were some what the hell calls, and there were some oh my God calls. I mean, everything you could think of over this weekend. I think we've had a little bit of everything in all of these different games. Everything from Tyler Huntley trying to jump over a pack of wolves to get to the end zone that he was about 4 feet away from, and only to lose the ball for a 98-yard touchdown. That's pretty much how this weekend has gone. What a time, Logan, man. What was your most if you had to look at all the games, what team surprised you the most at losing?
In losing. Okay, give me just 1 second. I just want to have all the scores pulled up. That way I'm factually correct. But I mean, let me see. So I think the team that had the most damning loss, I would say the Vikings, right? Because they had a lot of people who were riding high on them, saying they could go deep in the playoffs. We know Frankie. He's told us multiple times that he thought they were pretenders, and he was right. Our boy Frankie was right. They lost. They gave up 31 points, Jay, to the Giants, who they're a good team, but they're not a powerhouse. Daniel Jones, I was very impressed by him. Over 300 yards on the day. Also was leading the team in rushing with around 80 or so. I mean, that is putting the team on your back right there, and that was a definite. I think whenever you look at young quarterbacks who were kind of on the fringe this year, right? Because I mean, if he didn't perform this year, Jay, there was talks of letting him go, of trading him, of just cutting him. But I think just with that performance alone he had against Minnesota, I mean, you gotta, I think, put a little bit more trust in him in the next year, at least, if not more. Saquon did his thing. He's looked good the whole year. And then also, I gotta put this one in here. A team who also lost, the Chargers. Jay, for the love of God, that is inexcusable to be down 27-0 and you lose it. Oh my God, that's gonna haunt them the rest of the offseason. Just like it did last year, Jay. They should have won. They should have won that game against Las Vegas last year. They really should have. Yeah. But just bad coaching. We already saw they got rid of a few of their coordinators today. The two main losers, I would say, is Minnesota, and then also for the Chargers. And I guess we had to go with, I was impressed by the Dolphins. Even though they lost, they still put up a great fight against Buffalo when no one thought they'd be that close. The Ravens, we all kind of figured they kind of get knocked out a little bit just because they didn't have Lamar. And then also Seattle, we know they've had a good season, but I mean, Brock Purdy, man, he's impressive a lot. He looked good in that ball. He struggled a little bit, but he still, in the end, whenever it mattered most, he made those catches, he made those throws. And I mean, they're looking good though, man. They're looking good. And also, shout out to your boys last night, putting up some big numbers on Tom Brady. Yeah, not really, I'm not going to say on Tom Brady, but on the Bucs defense. Because, my God, Brady threw the ball until his arm fell off, Jay. Career high, I think it was, 60 passes? Like 65? I don't know. I mean, they're going to get – I don't know if they've already done it, but, I mean, it looks like they're going to get rid of Leftwich. I mean, bro, don't get me wrong. Tom Brady, we all know what he's about, right? Great quarterback, all time, whatever. Jay, why do you have him throwing the ball that many times? I don't care who he is. That's insane.
Yeah, it was insane. The amount that he was running versus the amount that they were actually running the ball. But
I don't know. What's your thoughts on this weekend?
There was a lot of things that over the weekend really kind of surprised me. Number one, stop blaming Kirk Cousins for everything that happens to the damn Vikings. It wasn't his fault they lost. Actually, Kirk played a pretty damn good game, to be honest with you.
I will say that last call was kind of iffy. That last throw he made, that didn't sit well with me. But like I said, overall though, not a horrible game. Yeah, I'm about to say, overall though, not a bad game. But that last play call, I don't know how you throw it short of the sticks.
No, hey, listen, I get it. Hey, I get it. Believe me, Kirk Cousins gets it. They're going home in the walk of shame, and the Dable remake of the Buffalo Bills is now in full effect. Now in New York, what a time to be alive, man. I thought but I did think the loss that the Vikings went through was a pretty tough loss. I thought they should have handled New York a little bit better than the way they handled New York. You didn't have a big wide receiver, that they're throwing the ball to. So all you really had to do is stop Daniel Jones being out of the pocket and pretty much, stop Saquon Barkley. The other guys, you have decent enough wide receivers. They'll coverage those guys. But I really thought the way they approached the game was completely off. And that's why I felt like, hey, it is what it is. If that's what you want to do, then, you're going to lose every damn time, and they've lost every damn time. So, again, it didn't surprise me when the Giants won that game. I picked them to win that game, to be honest with you. But then you move into, what was the other game? The Chargers and Jags.
Yeah, Chargers and Jaguars. Hey, talk about a tale of two halves, though, with Trevor Lawrence, man. That is a definition of that. In the first half, he looked horrible. He looked like a bum, like no one else could anyone else could be out there throwing the ball. But then I don't know what happened, what clicked. But, Jay, that second half, he looked like the number one overall pick.
Yeah, and the thing about that was it just, what started out as an embarrassment for one team ended up being a completely different embarrassment for the other team. And yeah, man, it was, when he had thrown 4 interceptions, I'm like, oh, dude, this dude.
But yeah,
garbage.
this is yeah, he's
I still
washed. He's
think that
done
Trevor
for.
Lawrence has a lot of work to do, but he got lucky and he did come away with the win. Yeah, and in all fairness, had that been any other team, he would have not have gotten that win. So I don't know.
Yeah, because the chart. I don't know, man.
I don't know if it's a testament to how good the Jacksonville Jaguars are, or if that was just how shitty the Chargers were. I don't know if anyone was really truly the better of either side of it. I think they were both pretty damn horrible, and that's what you got. But nevertheless, a playoff win is a playoff win, baby. So, hey, you got to take it for what it is, right? So Trevor Lawrence does get the win. Trevor Lawrence does move on to see another day. And but now it gets serious. Now we're out of the BS, and now we're really playing some teams.
Now we're getting to the cutting part, Jay. Speaking of cutting, I'm just saying, man, would you have gotten rid of your kicker after the awful game he had last night? Look, I get y'all won the game by a good bit, but my God, man, you can't be missing kicks like that.
Well, here's what I know. This is what I think, man. Like I said, we're all human beings, and I think
of course,
if you've watched this guy over the career, Marr has put up big time clutch hit after clutch hit all season long. This guy's been hitting 40 and 50 yarders. So trust me, what you saw that game, I guarantee you, sometimes things get in people's head. Sometimes things just get in people's head, and they have a shitty night. And he had a shitty night. Now,
let's see if he can bounce back from it.
You're having a conversation with, you're like, look, bro, I'm not here to shake your confidence. You're a great kicker. I know you're going to pull out this, everything's fine. Well, we can't have another one of these nights. So I need you to, whatever it is you got to do to bounce back, do what you got to do to bounce back. But you got about a week to get it together.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, Jay, if he misses a kick next week, I'm not saying going to cut him, but I'm just saying I might have to start going for some 2-point conversions. Just because I don't know if I can put that trust in him if he keeps missing these,
Yeah, and when you get to that level, you might as well you might as well just cut him. I don't know if you can cut him mid-season and just bring in.
I don't know if we can do that now. The playoffs, I think the rosters.
The playoffs, I think your rosters are pretty much.
Yeah,
set.
The rosters are pretty much set, but. That was the only really downside for your boys last night was just that. Yeah, other than that, they look great.
But that's typically how Cowboys work, man. We'll go out there and kick ass in a lot of different areas, and we'll get that one area every year that kicks us in the nuts. Whether it's the quarterback play, whether it's the special teams play, whether it's the defensive play, whether it's the play calling play. I mean, every year Dallas does something to screw it up. So we'll see what happens when we got to go up against the 49ers. That will be the telltale sign. And
it will.
My heart wonders, can the Giants beat the Eagles? I think they can.
I believe in them a little bit. I believe in them a good bit more than I did coming into last week. You know what I mean? And they've got – now we just got to see, Jay, how that offense that looked so well last week, how it can go up against this top-ranked Eagles defense, That's what's going to be interesting. Because we know the Eagles are dogs on defense, man. They can stuff the run. They can deflect passes, get INTs, whatever you need. They are a top force for a reason. And, the Giants in recent weeks, they've been really clicking on all cylinders on the offensive side of the ball. But like you said, they don't really have that true number one wide receiver target. I mean, they got a few guys, but, none of them are really – you could circle them in red and say, this is the guy we got to look out for. It's really just a hodgepodge of whoever is open is open. And then you got Daniel Jones tossing the rock and Saquon running it. And then it's really just whoever else can catch the ball this day. But the Eagles, it ain't like that. They got numbers everywhere.
No, they actually really do, And I was actually looking at a couple of things. I want to kind of go back real quick if I can to the Chargers and Jacksonville game. I wonder what's going to be the ramifications coming out of this. Like, for example, we already the offensive coordinator, I think, got fired from San Diego, so we already kind of saw that happen. But where does Staley go from here now? How does his job look? And, how does it look for next year?
I don't know, Jay. If they don't fire him in the offseason, I think you got to at least have them on a short-term leash next year. I mean, if they come stumbling out the box, you got to make a change because this is 2 seasons back-to-back where they should have won these games in the playoffs. They're getting into the playoffs. They should have won. I mean, it's inexcusable, Jay, to give up a lead that big. I mean, all of our teams have done it, right? We all know. But in the playoffs, it just hits a little bit. It hurts a little more, right? And
absolutely it does.
Bro, if I'm Justin,
there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, if I'm Justin Herbert, if I'm Bosa, I'm pissed. I mean, we saw Bosa didn't even have a great game. Honestly, he kind of struggled. I mean, we saw he had a few costly flags and whatnot. So I mean, it was just really a total team meltdown. But yeah, no, if Staley doesn't get fired this offseason, man, I'm keeping a very watchful eye on him next year. And if the Chargers don't come out the box, or red hot, if they're maybe like a 2-5, 2-6, I mean, I think you got to cut bait and figure out somewhere else.
Because that's kind of where I'm at, right? I don't know who to blame. If I'm the GM and I'm coming down and I'm doing my exit interviews and things like that, I don't know where I put more of the blame. I think a lot of the blame's got to go to Bosa. I think a lot of the blame has got to go to play calling. And I think some of the blame does go to execution.
Yeah, because it was.
It's
not just the one thing that had this loss. It's a whole team thing, pretty much, man.
Yeah, I tell you what though, man, that whole deal with what Joey Bosa did not help out their situation.
No.
It, man. And again, I put a little bit of that play calling too. I mean, there were some things there that definitely left a lot to the imagination. Then we roll over to the Ravens game, and I believe they played the Bengals. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
And man, like I said, what a way to
great ending.
Right? Jeez, man, do you ever let go of that last play where they get that 98-yard fumble recovery for touchdown?
Man, that's a tough pill to swallow right there, man. And we all of us on the show here, we've praised Huntley for how he's looked. But that I don't know where you put that one on, Jay. That just, first off, it wasn't even a good call. I mean, it wasn't even like they were at the goal. They weren't even at the goal line, for God's sake. He had to jump a few feet to get to the goal line. I mean, we saw that Dobbins came out and he said he thought he should have got the ball instead of Huntley. I mean, and then just one thing led to another. Cincinnati looked like they were in some shark-infested waters, and they had I think it was the longest fumble return in NFL history, in playoff history. So just a phenomenal play is going to live in their team's history forever. And shout out to Sam Hubbard becoming a local legend, even if it is just for this one game. And for the Ravens, man, you just got to wonder if Lamar was there, would this have been different? I mean, who knows? Who knows?
I just thought that was the craziest thing ever to say, where they all just went right. Everybody knew the play was going in the middle. Everybody knew it. Nobody gave a damn about the left corner or the right corner. Everybody's going to the middle. Why the hell did they not do a misdirection and go left or go right? I still befuddles me. Oh, or audible out of it or something. I don't know.
Right? Jeez. Yeah, not like I said, not the best play calling, I thought. And honestly, the ball game, man, chance go be deeper in the playoffs.
All right, folks. We're gonna slide over here real quick. Bam. Darius Miles, man. Alabama forward charged with capital murder. The crazy thing about it is, I think for him, this is a wrong place, wrong time, wrong people, and he's left holding the bag. As you know, he got charged for capital murder. Jamea Harris, 23-year-old, and he's 21-year-old. Darius Miles. Apparently, he's the one that brought the gun to the party or to wherever everybody was at. And then I guess whoever got the gun from him then proceeded to shoot rounds into the car that was being driven, that was driving Miss Harris in. And ultimately, she got struck in the car by one of the bullets. And in California, if you get struck by a bullet in a car, that is capital murder automatically. So he's going to capital murder for shots being fired into a car, and he's basically an accomplice too. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
How do you have your whole life ahead of you and you're dealing with guns at freaking parties and stuff? I don't understand what we're doing, Logan. I don't understand what we're doing.
It's a shame, you know. And I did see somewhere that the mother of the woman who was killed said that she said this is a quote I'm reading here, Jay, off of Fox News. It says, "Took my baby life because she wouldn't talk to him." You know, and like you said for Darius, you know, he didn't shoot the gun, right? But he did bring it. So that also begs the question, Jay. Why? I mean, you know, I understand you know, right to carry, all that good stuff, but you know, come on.
Right.
You know, like you are a Division I, highly touted, also basketball player, had your whole life at EJ, and now everything he's worked for his whole career up in flames. He is done for. And I mean, we'll see how this case goes. Obviously, we'll keep you updated on it. But damn, it's just such a shame, man, to see, really, just no matter what sport, what crime, whatever, that all these super talented players that we all look at and think, man, maybe they could be, you know, the next one up. Maybe they could be a great player one day, role model, whatever it be. And then you get these awful stories we see, you know, with this guy being charged with capital murder. Also, something we didn't bring up, the Georgia player who died, the offensive lineman who passed away over the weekend.
Yes.
And that sucks, man. That just knocked all the wind at your sail right there. That, I mean, it's just a shame.
He's gotten off to a rough start.
Yeah, it's just a shame, man. The you know, for the guy from Georgia, that sucks. And then you know, for Darius Miles also, just wrong place, wrong time, wrong situation. Could have been avoided. This could have been avoided, Jay. This really could have. I mean, he could have been chilling at home in that night.
It makes me mad too, because you're thinking like, man, I have no talent, and I'm watching these guys who have, you know, all this talent.
Throw it all away.
They're just throwing it all away, man. It's like, what the hell? What are you doing, man? Damn. And then you get this, a 16-year-old catcher prospect for the Padres. What? Yeah, if you can believe that. 16-year-old prospect does sign with the Padres. I think he signed for 6.5. No, 5.6 million. He signed on with the Padres to be their catcher in the winter leagues. Obviously, he's 16, so he still has at least another 2 years to go before he can get to that level. But what the hell, Logan? 16, and you're already getting 5.6 million. I had his name, and I don't know what I did with his name.
Hey, like I said, Jay, like I've told everyone I know, if the day I have a son or a daughter, I'm having them play two sports, right?
Oh yeah,
baseball or soccer.
Oh yeah,
that's where the money's at, brother, and it's all guaranteed. But
yeah,
my God,
it would never work for me because neither one of those sports do I know how to play. So I'm gonna have to hire somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. His name Ethan Salas. That's his name.
Salas, there you go.
$5.6 million at 16, Jay. I know he ain't seeing a lot of that. I know the parents are seeing a lot of that money. But oh my God,
than I have already made in my entire life already.
I was about to say, then I toss that in there too, just for us combined, brother. But yeah, man, this is insane. I mean, Jay, what was it? Back in like the 70s, the 80s, guys weren't even getting paid $1 million, and now we're getting 16-year-old prospects who are in high school, who are barely in high school, getting paid $5.5 million.
I'm telling you right now, if I was that kid's parents, the first thing I'd be doing right now is taking his ass down to the insurance company and get insurance taken out on that arm.
Oh yeah, 100%. Whatever his arm, whatever his dominant arm is, his whole body, bro. I'm making sure I am covered.
Yeah, we're the first thing we're doing. We're getting insurance policies. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to make sure that he's getting the best training he could possibly get between now and then. I'm going to take some of that $5.6 million, reinvest it back in training, so when he hits the big leagues, he's ready to go, right? And then I'm getting a personal trainer, someone who can
get me a nice weightlifting program, a nice
Yeah.
diet. I know you're 16, man. You want to go out and have a good time, but my God, when you get signed for this much money, things got to change. Things are going to get ramped up, and
Bro.
yeah, man. We'll see how we can do. Obviously, it's going to be about at least 5 years or so, maybe three to five, before we even see him even thoughts of getting to the majors. First, he's got to get that diploma. But
I think you'll see him in A ball.
yeah,
As soon as he graduates high school, I think you see him in A ball the next season.
yep,
Which
pretty
is
much.
fine. Hey, keep him going, keep him active.
Yeah, man. Might as well. I'm excited to see where this guy goes. And I mean, honestly, I feel like Jay, that's something that, as baseball fans, we need to kind of look at more. It's just teams signing these super young dudes, and seeing how they progress, and I mean, it's crazy how young these guys are signing at now, and how much money. I mean, my God, over $5 million at 16. He's a junior or sophomore, or maybe a junior in high school.
Right.
Oh my God, yeah, bro. If I'm his friend right now, I'm saying, look, whenever we go out to get pizza, you're the one paying.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm like, I ain't touching a dime, man. We go to the movies, yeah, you paying for all of our tickets.
Hell yeah. Hey, listen, you got all the money over there, money bags. No, hey, real quick, I wrote something down I meant to talk about earlier, and I did want to get your opinion on it. Look.
Yep.
So you go to Minnesota. Go back to Minnesota for a second. You take,
right.
how well they played and things like that. And we talked about Miami, and then they were talking about how good Miami, wide receiver core is, how great Tyreek Hill is, this, that, and the other. He's like the next best thing to sliced bread. And I said, you know what? There are clearly 5 better wide receivers in the NFL right now, other than Tyreek Hill. Do you have your top 5 that are better than Tyreek Hill?
Off the top of my head, I can't. I mean, just off the top of my head, and this is in no order, just ones who I think are top tier. Obviously, Jamar Chase. Got to throw Justin Jefferson in that mix also. That he's a good dude. Hopkins maybe, right? Hopkins, he's whenever he's on the field. I know he's a little older now. Oh man, I feel like
hard.
Oh man, I'm drawing blanks. Who else you got? Maybe Debo, if you want to throw Debo in there, maybe.
You could.
Stephon Diggs.
If you want to throw Debo in there or Stephon, I'll let you do that.
I think it was Stephon, Debo.
There's a plethora of them. I think that are better than them.
I'd say Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing names out here, but that's who I can just kind of throw out there for names you can throw around the top 5 of this.
Yeah, I had Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Hopkins, and then Jamal Adams out there. And
I forgot about old Cooper Kupp out there. I know he's hurt.
Yeah, man. And again, you even named off even more than what I had on there that are better. I mean, I just think Tyreek, he gets a lot of adulation out there for being with Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City because he's fast. Like nobody's faster than Cheetah. But the problem is there's a lot more dynamic runners out there that even though they're not fast as Cheetah, they can do other things that Cheetah can't always do, especially with the hands. I think Justin Jefferson is a perfect complement to what that means.
I think I forget who led the league in catches here. I think Tyreek was 3rd, maybe, in catches. I think he was 3rd. I saw a stat the other day.
Wasn't he?
What was that?
I think Jefferson was right in him. It was just Jefferson.
I'm sure it was Jefferson or Chase. So one of the ones we mentioned, I'm sure. Maybe I think it might have been in mid Devontae. I don't know. But I know Tyreek was up there though in terms of catches for sure, because that was his main dude all year.
What a time to be alive, man. I just want the Cowboys. The Cowboys still need a speedy guy. I think CeeDee Lamb, he's good across the middle. He's great in the slot. I don't know if CeeDee is still my true number 1. I don't think he is. I think he's my go-to slot guy. You know what I mean? And I think that
I don't know, man.
You still kind of. I think we still need a number 1.
I'm about to say, I still think you're missing a few pieces, man. And we already know how you feel about Pollard versus Elliott. We don't talk about that.
Oh man. Yeah, Pollard, man. We could definitely, man. Jeez. Pollard's that dude that's our main running game right there. I mean, we have the power run from Elliott, but primarily we use Pollard for that east-west finesse running. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's what you got him for.
God, we need – man, it's about to get serious, man. We're about to go against the 49ers.
That's going to be a fight there.
Around in there, man. We got they can't have another 16 penalty first half like they did last year when we played the 49ers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to say you got to have a clean ball game, brother. If you're going to win this one.
Yeah, let me ask you this: if we look real quick at the National League, the NCAA men's right now, who is your top five, or who do you have in your top five right now?
Oh, in college basketball, you said?
Yeah, like who do you have right now in your top five?
Let me see. Let me get this pulled up here. I know, obviously, you got to put your boys up there, Houston, right? Kansas having a good year. Purdue, I feel like those are the main three there because they only got one loss on the year.
Yeah.
But then it kind of gets a little shaky, right? You're not too sure. A couple teams with 2 or 3 losses. Maybe throw UCLA in there. Maybe Alabama. We'll see. I feel like they might slide with this up with with all the stuff they got going on. Maybe the Bulldogs with Gonzaga. Also, Texas is still hanging in there too, right? They're 15-2.
I can't believe how well Texas is hanging in.
They're doing really well. I'm surprised. Also, too, I was just curious, Jay. I'm looking here at the AP Top 25. I looked at number 18. I'm like, who is this team? Jay, Charleston?
Cold FC?
Charleston is 18. That is insane. Only in college basketball, man. That is wild.
Like that school is so tiny, small. I can't believe they registered there.
I'm about to say that's crazy. But yeah, no. But I had to point that out real quick. That's insane.
Could you imagine if they made it into the Sweet 16 and we would start talking?
Bro, like the Loyola Chicago, right? We see a bunch of kind of smaller teams pop up during the playoffs, man, and that might be a team this year, bro. I mean, 18-1. Let me pull up their record. If they played anyone of note. Let's see. Have they even beat a ranked team this year? Hold on, let me see. Citadel. Oh boy. Oh boy, Jay.
That's crazy.
Oh no. Well, hey. Well, the more I look at it, Jay, they've won a lot of games, but not really against anyone who is a note. I don't see any ranked teams that they've beaten on the top of my head here. They did lose to number 1 at the time, I believe, North Carolina, back in the early season. But other than that, they've beaten everyone else pretty much, though, right? They've been on the win streak since that loss. So that's what's getting in the hot hand right now and getting them in the top 25.
That still blows my mind that Texas is sitting at number 7.
Yeah.
Given all the crap because they were at number 10 a couple of days ago. And now they got them up to number 7. But, with everything they've gone through with their head coach, I really thought that would put them in a downward spiral. But they've actually done really good bouncing back and strong.
Yeah, they've done good, and we'll see if it can continue for the rest of the year.
Yeah, the only other thing I was noting real quick was Rodgers mulling his retirement. Let me ask you this. What does Rodgers do at the end of this year? Does he retire? Does he go somewhere else? Does he stay with Green Bay?
I mean, he's got, I think, one more year left on the deal. I mean, I don't know, Jay, man. This Packers team was kind of trash this year.
Well, they were not very good.
I mean, obviously we knew the receiver concerns. Rodgers was hit and miss throughout the season. Wasn't obviously in his MVP form, but also wasn't like the worst quarterback in the league, right? And if I'm him, you gotta get some big pieces, right? You gotta get something so I can build around. I like Jones, right? I like him as a running back. I think he's a solid piece. You gotta fix out the defense a little bit too, but I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with him as I was with Donald. I mean, you've done all you need to, brother. I mean, same with Brady, right? You've done all you got to accomplish. Get your ring, get your money, and get out of there healthy as you can. And I mean, they got to figure out something soon because I don't know if Jordan Love's the answer or not. Jay, he's been sitting behind him with a clipboard for 5 seasons. It feels like. I don't know.
Hey, Jordan Love been chilling because they haven't need to use Jordan Love. Have they had to use a Jordan Love more previously? I think you see a Jordan Love leaving Green Bay. I think Jordan Love has been as long as he's been in the league because, truthfully, we have not required a lot from Jordan Love because Jordan Love is sat behind Aaron Rodgers.
Whole career.
You take Jordan Love out from that security blanket, put him anywhere else, and he's probably a fish in a pond, you know. Does he swing or does he sink or does he swim? You know, you're not going to know that until you just put him out there and see what he does. I guarantee you, though, let me go ahead and give you the spoiler. He's going to sink. He's going to sink all the way to the bottom, and it's not even close. But no, Logan, at the end of the day, man, Green Bay, man, I think Aaron comes back 1 more year. I don't think Aaron's going to turn away the money. The question really becomes, if you're the Packers, what do you do with that final year of him being eligible? Do you try to trade him, or do you try to?
I don't know who would trade for him, though, man. That's the thing.
Because you got now, like, what would you even get? Yeah, right. What would you get for him?
I wouldn't want to get a lot for him because, I mean, you're getting a guy who's only going to play probably for one more season. I mean, I wouldn't want to give him a whole lot.
Like, there's any team that would have a chance that particular year in the playoffs probably doesn't need a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers anyway. They've already got what they got.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a quarterback to get to the playoffs that you got to trade for, it's rare that quarterbacks get traded. You know, like high profile quarterbacks, we'll say.
Right.
I mean, and that's for a reason. But I mean, I don't even know where I'd even start for him, man, because like I said, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the league, and it feels like teams now would rather just go through the draft and get a quarterback and build them up as opposed to trade for somebody.
That's why I don't think this year is so much a panic year for Rodgers or the Packers, because they still have another year. But I do think come next year, really it's going to be more so for Aaron. You know, what does Aaron do?
Yeah.
Does he re-sign again with Green Bay? Or does maybe he look to see if there's better pastures out there somewhere else? Or does he just go ahead and retire? I think what's going to happen is I think either A, he decides to play another time, or B, he retires. I don't think he's going to go play for anybody else. I think he's either going to.
No, I'm the same. I think
he's going to go out. Yeah, I don't think he does it.
All right,
man. I think we have exhausted all of our topics in record fashion this evening. Jesus.
We've done great today.
We have been on the ball, man. What a time to be alive. Let me do one thing real quick, and then slide that over real quick. All right, folks. It's been my boy, Doug. Well, I would say Gonzo, but Gonzo's not here. So now I got to go to Logan. Logan, you got any final thoughts before we head up on out of here?
Yeah, just maybe a few of the things we weren't able to touch on. LeBron, man, what a game from LeBron the other night. Scored almost 50 in the win. Looked good for him. And let's see what else. Oh, yeah, I know, we don't cover UFC a whole lot, but when we do, I saw that Francis Ngannou got released from the UFC in a wild move. And also, too, Jared, I just want to, say it again, man. Rest in peace to Devin Willock and Chandler LaCroix, two members of the UGA team, man, and gone way, way too soon.
Yeah, again, our hearts and feelings definitely go out to those families from the Unscripted side. I can definitely assure you of that. Real quick, there was one other thing I wanted to bring up, but you know what? It's not there, so maybe it'll pop in another time. But yeah, man, what a time to be alive, man, and where these guys go and what these guys do and how it all unfolds, especially with the NFL world going forward with all these.
Yep.
With all these positions that are coming up for grabs, it's going to get very, very interesting, I think, in the next 2 to 3 years in terms of where we start looking at on the next crop of players. With that being said, though, I guess my final comment is just let's look and see where Kansas is playing Kansas State tonight, and they're looking pretty good. Kansas State is up on Kansas 42-39. As you know, Kansas is the number 2 ranked team, Logan. So,
yep. Hey, and also, Jay, before we get out of here, you know what we got to hype up coming up this Saturday? More important, not what we have coming up, but who we have coming on. Now, we've been saying behind the scenes here on Unscripted, we got to bring some more people on. And we have been reaching out to people, Jay. We've been reaching out left and right. Some people return, some people don't. But our boy Frankie C has secured us with a top-tier boxer. someone who I believe we've had him on the show before, and we're bringing him on one more time to talk the sport of boxing in the ring. Mr. Robert Duran Jr. coming on Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. You don't want to miss it, Jay. I know we're all going to be here. Frankie's going to be here leading the charge, talking with Robert. And it's going to be a fun conversation, man. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask us, if you want us to ask him, put it in our comments, right? Anywhere on socials, you already know the deal. And we will be sure to put him in there, let him know that you asked him. And so once again, Saturday, 8 o'clock, we got Robert Duran Jr. coming on the show, superstar boxer. And it's going to be a fun time, and we're going to chat up with him for a little bit. Also, what's up, Damien? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Our boy Sander, what's going on, buddy? Been a minute, man.
I've not seen Sander. I
haven't seen Sander in a hot minute.
It did look like Father time. Hey,
that arm was working overtime, Anthony Price. What you mean? That arm was in.
Come on, Anthony. Come on. You better get some love to them Cowboys, man.
I was about to say, man. Hey, man, Brady had I ain't putting this on Brady, bro. That defense crumbled. Hey, let's get out of here, though, man. We'll talk about this more Thursday.
Yeah, it definitely crumbled. All right, folks. Hey, we will catch you guys Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Y'all have a good night. Babyface Logan, your boy Jay McLovin. We'll catch you on the flip.